Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Rupert and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your puppy's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Rupert's going to come home with his very own training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly on your follow-up training session on Saturday. Now, Rupert's sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training starts and stops, and the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Rupert heel, and at this point Rupert has a job to do, and that is to focus on Fred when he's walking, not pulling him down the street, not lunging, not lagging, but walking nicely with you like a gentleman. And each time that you stop your feet, he has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So when you stop to cross traffic or talk to someone on the street, Rupert should be sitting nicely like a gentleman at your left. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, you are not going to use his name. You're going to practice lengthening out your sit-stays. Start out at about 30 seconds, add a few seconds a day, all the way up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to him, he walks all the way around him as an additional distraction, returning back to where they started. He gives them a little pat for praise, and they take off heeling again. And our goal here with Rupert is to get him to have a little bit more self-control, focus, and maturity doing his commands and having to pay attention just like a child in first grade. Now, if he doesn't sit, you'll see Fred say no and use that little tug and release. He leaves him again in a sit-stay. And again, you can practice these exercises right in your house. Wherever you find him to be the most out of control is where you want to practice. And this time, instead of returning all the way back to him, Fred's going to call him. This is your come on command, and he's been taught to come and sit right in front facing your knees. And then they go back to heeling. Nice sit, very good. You couldn't have picked a more hard-headed breed if you tried. And I think that considering everything, including his breed and his age, that he's really doing a great job. Fred's going to leave him in another sit-stay. He's going to walk out to the end of the leash and turn to face him. And this is teaching Rupert to come when called. We lighten our tone of voice, we bring him in, and he sits. What the goal with that is eliminating jumping all over you. He's a funny, cute little guy. He's very well crate trained. He's very well obedience trained, and we're going to be showing you how to keep this going at home. Now, what Fred's going to demonstrate now is you're down from a heel position. So with the dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. He's a little dramatic with this. Looks like he's been shot.
Down, stay.
Now, you heard Fred say no, down, stay. He just repeated the command, and I think that the dog knew as soon as he got up that he wasn't supposed to. Now, this down stay, you're going to start out at about a minute, and you're going to work all the way up to 5 minutes. Again, helping his self-control. When Fred returns back to him, he walks all the way around him again, just as he did on the sit stay, returning all the way back around to heel position. And then he gives the heel command and they take off walking again. And this is quite an accomplishment for this little guy, everything that he's learned here. And again, have him seated first, give the down and the stay, always from a seated position. And this time Fred will call him in, praises him on the way in, keeping him focused, but not overstimulated. So, you know, you walk a fine line with Rupert in praising him and getting him overexcited. Nice thing about bulldogs, especially in the summer, is they tire very quickly and they don't do well in the heat. So Fred's going to leave him in a sit stay. We're going to demonstrate the down from a distance. He's going to turn to face Rupert. And this is the only time that you're going to use your right hand to give the command. And that's your down from a heel. And he started to COME and then realized that he wasn't thinking. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Rupert's formal on-leash obedience commands. His heel, his automatic sit, his sit stay, his down from a distance, his come. All of these exercises are going to be the ones that you're going to practice. Put your video on your computer, work right along with it, and you're going to see more and more improvement in him every day. We want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company. He's been a blast.